Caroline County Transportation Committee meeting to order. We start by roll call.
Becky Golden,
Mhm.
Western District.
Jimmy Street, western portion of the Port Royal District.
Steve Rollins, Hampton I.
David Beals, Spartan.
Residents.
Rich Spurlock, Fredericksburg residency, VDOT.
Yeah, JD Young, Reedy Church. And Lisa.
Lisa Beck, Planning and Building.
All right. Our director is not going to be able to make it here tonight, so we can carry on. Let's. Guess we need to talk about the 6-year plan. That's some of the unfinished business there. And I guess we're gonna turn that over to you, Mrs. Spurlock.
Right, so I think one of the problems that Caroline County has right now is all of the available money over the past few years was allocated to Rattletrap Road and Devil's Three Jump and Caroline Street Rural Addition. And now that all three of those projects have completed, that only leaves about $5,800 in available funding. And I talked briefly with David and with Leon about potential projects that can be added. And right now, it looks like the best candidate is it's called Jeter Road off of Sparta Road, not too far from here, about 12 miles from here. It's a little section of unpaved road. It's about 3/10 of a mile. I actually went down there and did a site visit before I came here this evening, and it looks like a pretty viable project. There is one cross pipe that's in a live stream, so there will be some permit work that would be needed from environmental. And the estimate I have for construction does reflect that. It is looking like around $135,000 to do the pipe work and the grading, grade up the ditches and then hard surface the road itself. And due to the funding that's coming in, you have like a little over 89,000 available next year. So then you would need almost 40,000 from FY28 to fully funded 28. If our programming will open it to charge, I could probably start it next summer and then, take it through the fall and then hard surface it the next spring when the other money is available. I have to talk to them, see if they'll let me do that. But at worst, it would be the first part of 2028, and then we'd hard surface it probably in the summer of 28. The other one I looked at was Alps Drive. The problem with that is it has an unpaved portion at the end of the road. I can't remember, Lauraville Lane, I think, to the end of state maintenance, but that is like 1.1 miles. So you're looking at between $370,000 and $400,000 to do that one. So it's going to take a few years to be able to fund that through the SSYP. There are other opportunities like revenue sharing and things like that. I don't know if the county is interested in that sort of program, but it is a 50-50 match. If you all came up with 100,000, we would match the 100,000, so you would basically double your money. But I'm not sure if that's something that's of interest or not. But so I guess tonight I'm looking for the approval to move forward with Jeter Road, and if that's what you want to do, we'll take it to the board. I think Leon was going to try to go to the board and schedule a public hearing or toward the end of April, I think. Okay. So I just need to know if I'm moving forward with Jeter Road, and if so, I'll go in tomorrow and make a temporary UPC and set it up in the pool, and I'll be ready to go.
When does the road need to have the 50 vehicles a day?
That is, I have found out that is just for the unpaved road portion. And the unpaved road portion, the allocations are $9,800 a year. So even if you lost that, you could still use the telefees to pave the road
Okay.
or hard surface the
Oh,
road.
okay.
I suspect that if we went out there and put a tube out there, you would have the 50 vehicles a day because they were real close last
Right.
time we checked. So I would do that definitely just to be sure, but if it doesn't come in, you still got more telefees and it would still be the 28. It would just take a little more of the telefees from
Right.
it.
That's nice. I'll be happy to make a motion that we approve Jeter Road hard surfacing to be our project in the secondary road 6-year plan.
Second.
Okay. Motion by Becky and seconded by Jimmy that we take this Jeter Road to be scheduled, to pass this on to the Board of Supervisors for them to hopefully approve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Alright.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, that's on.
Rick, how much money is left in the out years of the plan?
It's
Yeah,
Well-
I mean, assuming now that if we put Jeter in, how much money is left from 20?
It would be you would have about 40,000 left in 28 and then roughly 90,000 each year past that to 20.
So is that
32.
3 more years plus 40?
Mhm.
So it's only 270, 310, something like that.
Right. And this year, for the first year in the last 5 or 6, the amount of telefees each locality got was a little higher than it has been. The past 5 years, it has decreased a little bit every year. This year, it increased a little bit. But with that, the projection is like 80,000 a year in telefees and about a little over 10,000 in unpaid fees.
Certainly, we could look at it again next year, but, or I guess, let's see, it's 26, so this is FY 27, so it'll be this time next year, we'll be talking about FY 28.
28 to 33.
Yeah, so maybe 2 years from now, Jeter will be done,
Mm-hmm.
and then we would have enough money in the entire plan to do the entire mile. 1.1 of ours.
Okay.
Yeah, and those folks they probably have no idea they're even eligible for that
Right,
road to be
right.
paved.
Yeah,
It's like 2 nice horse farms and then a road that just goes nowhere, so that's a nice one to just park.
and some of these, I don't know much about them. I mean, both of those are in, I guess they're both in Sparta district, but some of these others I don't know much about. So I mean, just based on the traffic volume that's shown here, I think they're both, decent candidates.
Mhm.
I did look also at OCC. That was 2.4 miles. So I was looking to see if there was any, like if I started at one end, if there was a logical point to cut it off, just to do a little piece of it. And
Right.
there really wasn't. Because even when you find a place to cut it, it was still like a mile long. So you're
Mhm.
too much money.
All right.
Liberty Fork, there is a note on here that says awaiting updated traffic counts. Liberty Fork, they added to the plan maybe 3 years ago, and it only had like 9 vehicles a day on it.
Yeah.
And I think like 1 home. And because it didn't meet that 50 vehicles a day, we put a tube out to count the traffic. We let the board member know to where, if they want to talk to the people.
Right up down the road.
We need 50, and it came in at like 37.
Okay.
What can you do?
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd take a long time to fund.
Yeah.
2.4 miles or something like that.
We've got to compliment
2.6.
compliment the county that they did not allow new developments, new subdivisions to have private gravel roads. I was working in Hanover County, and there's so many gravel road, private road subdivisions, and left up to the people to maintain and the developer to put in whatever he kind of felt like, and there'll never be good gravel roads to be upgraded to the state system.
Right.
So
I did notice a lot of
Hanover
gravel,
kind of kowtowed to the developers.
right. I
Because
did notice a lot of gravel roads when I was on my way to Jeter, and there was a little blue signs, but none of them were state maintained.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And now there's a new rule where we can't do anything to it, with this
Mhm.
kind of funding unless it's already up to standards or,
Mhm.
and, you ask 3 people that live there to come up with a couple $100,000. I say, nah,
Yeah,
we'll leave it gravel.
right.
Yeah. Good job, Rick. That's great.
Thank you.
All right, thank you all for that. I guess now we'll move to the concepts that we have before us for the STAR study. Is that in your lane too? Not a lot.
So he's really only giving you all this for information purposes. He provided to the board of supervisors Tuesday night. And what he really wanted everybody to know was that VDOT's holding a community meeting on the STAR study, April 13th at Lewis and Clark Elementary School from 5 to 7 p.m.
Great.
And I guess these are the latest documents from March on that study.
You want to send us an email with the time and
Mhm,
with that
sure.
information, maybe to all the committees?
Yep, I can do that.
That's great.
I think we were looking at, was it the tight diamond or was it the diversion diamond? You know,
I think,
was the tight diamond?
yeah, I think
One of them is somewhere around $40 million or something.
Diamond,
Yeah.
there's 2 years on there.
Okay.
33 was the interim.
Okay.
With the slope.
Okay. Looks good on paper.
Yeah.
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 Really glad they're looking at that interchange.
And those are gonna be these are smart scale applications for the cycle, or one of them, right?
Yeah, that'll be,
Y'all know
the
it?
best improvement with that 1 and 2 and 7. And I guess they submitted yesterday.
So, yeah.
He said he's been through applications.
Oh, good.
Okay. Any questions on this? I don't know if I can answer any of them.
Well, I was thinking about something today,
Mhm.
which I'm not an engineer, but I know there's been conversation that whatever we do here is gonna be strictly to make the flow of traffic on the interstate better. Is that correct? That's where I understand it.
On the interstate or,
On 95, people traveling, getting off and on. I know that I'd heard that whatever they do is gonna cause problems for people traveling westbound on 639, which I just happen to live 3 miles from the interstate. But so my understanding is that traffic lights or whatever would probably cause some issues for these folks coming west on 639. I was just thinking today, like I'm saying, I'm not an engineer, but if that was a road that would go behind that Shell gas station that would put people onto the interstate versus them waiting up here for the folks that's coming west on 639, would that benefit the congestion that's gonna be here at this, or if there's a red light, the red light does go there, would that be something that would be feasible? I was just thinking about it today. I thought about it as well. That everybody backing up on 639 waiting for this light, or people coming, getting on or getting off or turning to get onto the interstate, whether that was a means for folks coming west to get onto the interstate going north at least.
Mhm.
Um,
Have their own road, that there wouldn't be, kind of be a free flow
Right.
right, that they wouldn't have to go up and be jumbled up at the lake.
Right.
That's something, if you have the ability to come to that April 13th meeting, exactly what the engineers, are there to talk about.
Yeah, I think, I think the concepts that are here, they're trying to take what's there and tweak it, because that's, I don't know if it's more efficient, but it's cheaper than building new alignment and buying more right away. So they're trying to work as much as they can within the footprint that they already control. To your point about the 639 movement to the west, it's the traffic on 639 now that kind of free flows, and because it's just a stop sign at the ramps, it makes it difficult for people to get off the ramp. And so if we stop that traffic on 639, it allows the ramp to clear, and then 639 can go again. The benefit to the people on 639 is that those people won't be darting out in front of them when they get a little gap or they're impatient, so they'll be safer going west on 639 than they are today with the signal, although they will have to stop for the signal when it's red.
I'm not saying this wouldn't be a benefit. I know it's, but I see the issue every day. So, I'm not saying this wouldn't be a big improvement. I was just thinking about, whether there would be less people in line waiting for that light to change if they were going north on the interstate.
And what you described is one of the options that they considered up at the 118 in Spotsylvania before they rebuilt that interchange, was to have a kind of a slip ramp that kind of went, I guess kind of where the Sheets is now.
Yeah.
They kind of paralleled and went on to try to keep some of that existing ramp to come in that way, kind of between the racetrack and the Sheets, but ultimately they went with a different option.
Thank you, Mr. Bill, for that explanation. I told you, I didn't know if I could answer that or not. Okay. Any other questions or concerns? Rick, let me ask you a question, you and David, I don't know. I've had several calls on Signboard Road as well as Panola Road. I know you all have done some things over there. Is that because of money issues that it hadn't been finished? You have two pipes under the road, but there's a huge drop off on both sides, and I know Panola gets a lot of traffic.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know they did some work on Signboard and is it Secretariat Way or something?
That's a little further up, but if you go, yes, it would be north on Signboard. It's like a pond back in there or something, yeah. And back during the storm when the ice was there, it was literally one lane through there. Yeah.
I think the work that we had done was a lot of vegetation clearing at the intersections. I don't know if they've done any pipe work or.
Yeah, no, the pipe is under there,
pulling.
but it's a major drop off, and then you have two barrels that'll just kind of sit there like as warnings as you come through there. But if somebody gets too far over there, they're gonna actually drop right off into that pond.
Check on it tomorrow, see
Okay.
what's at.
And Panola's the same way. They did do some things in
Yeah,
Panola, but yeah.
Was it a pipe replacement on Panola?
I don't know if they replaced the pipe or not, but I know they did some clean out.
They did.
Yeah, they may have replaced it. Yeah, I haven't been over there in a couple months.
I know Panola has some deep ditches with no shoulders.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
We've widened it as wide as we can get it.
Wide as you can get
But
it, yeah.
If you get off the pavement.
Yeah, if you're off the pavement, you have to
probably need a
get
tow
it.
truck.
Yeah, we got quite a few roads like that. Yeah. Yeah, get a call about CCC Road, same way. Yeah.
Yeah, after this winter, we're chasing a lot of doing a lot of repaving and potholes and
Mhm.
all this, and then we're working on a bunch of different pipe replacements around the residence.
Sure.
And we had some, I mean, that are, we have one that we've been looking to get a pipelining done because we can't do a replacement because it's one of those, it's the only way in, and there's a bunch of townhouses and stuff back there. So we looked at getting it lined and getting a contract together for anything nowadays is, it takes a while, so I just didn't spend steady watching that road and hoping, and it's like, yeah, we have a lot of roads like that where the pipes are so bad that, like that one in front of Purvis Ford, we keep getting, look, there's a new sinkhole over there.
Mhm.
Luckily, it's not on Route 1, it's over in what was the old service road. But yeah, eventually we're gonna have to do something over there as well, and just trying to catch them all.
Good, I understand. Yeah, I just figured I'd bring it to your attention, take a look at it because.
Yeah, I'll
yeah,
call our
several
maintenance
calls.
guy and see what,
Okay.
what they're doing or what they had done.
Yeah, they also, somebody sent me a video back even, I think I sent that to Leon. The video of, back during the snowstorm where it was just, one lane being able to be passable. No question about, Oxford Road. That's a secondary road, but, the gravel that you all have on that, would that be applicable for Alps or some of the other roads that you're talking about? Would that, could you use that?
Is it like just excess
It's-
gravel in there?
It's, I don't know what to call it. I think,
Is it Zillings?
Surface treatment?
yeah, that's it, surface treatment.
Yeah, that's what we would do
Okay,
when we do it. We come in and grade everything, put a new layer of stone, between 4 and 6 inches,
okay.
fine graded, and then surface treat on
Okay.
top.
So, I guess I'm asking, would that be beneficial as opposed to actually, asphalting the entire?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Beneficially as far as cost.
Mhm.
I mean, you're looking at,
Definitely cost.
yeah,
Surface treatment is, it's a liquid asphalt that's sprayed out of the back of a distributor.
Right,
So they go down with a truck and spray the liquid asphalt on the road.
Mhm.
And then they back a truck over top of that, dropping stone over top of it.
sure,
And then they'll do another layer of that. And then over top of all that, they put sand. And then, they compact each layer.
Right.
So you end up with a kind of a hard crust on top of a gravel road.
yes,
And that's what we call surface treatment.
Right.
To pave it with like plant mix, with like you would see an asphalt paver,
Mhm.
and the asphalt goes into the paver, and then they lay it down and compact it, and then they roll that.
Correct.
That's about 5 times the cost of surface treatment.
Yeah.
So on the low volume roads where there's not as much traffic volume, we can get away with surface treatment. It's a whole lot easier to maintain and to build, cheaper to build.
So, and I said Oxford, but it's off of Oxford, it's actually Fall Hole Drive, which I meant, but I'm saying is that something that we could do for Alps? As opposed to having just a gravel driveway over there or whatever they have? I haven't
So
seen.
that's
it.
what this is.
yeah.
Oh, that's what they have
Yeah.
over there
No,
already?
That's what this plan.
Oh, that's what this is, okay,
Yeah,
I
so
thought you were
like
trying to
Jeter-
asphalt it for.
No, so Jeter Road,
Okay.
Jeter Road is a gravel road,
Mm-hmm,
and the money he's talking 135, he'll go clean out the ditches, add some stone, get a
Gotcha.
good base in there, replace some pipes, and then they'll go surface treat it.
surface street, okay,
And
okay,
so that's the same thing we would do for Alps once we get enough money in the plan, assuming that's what the board wants to do.
okay,
But yeah, we wouldn't
makes sense.
spend the money for like what we call plant mix,
Right,
asphalt
right.
that's mixed at a plant and delivered in a truck. That we wouldn't spend the money for that.
Take
on
15 years to
these
get
little
that.
roads.
Okay, I just misunderstood, so, okay, it's clear now for me.
Good discussion.
Okay. Any other questions, concern?
Will we adjourn?
Second.
All right, hey, moving properly, second that we adjourn, until next month's meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Let's go home. Thank you.
Good to
Thank
see
you.
you.
I
everybody.
think it's the shortest thing ever.